Along with the viewport tools, the camera tools will be covered because they are kind of part of the viewport tools here. So how the camera is rotated, positioned, how to manipulate it will be covered in this section as well. If you have not seen the quick start guide, I highly recommend watching that first because many of the tools covered there will not be repeated here. In this view, if we rotate it by default, it will automatically switch to the current view. We will not be looking through the camera view anymore. To get back to the camera view, we can either click down here, or because of this, we don't have to worry about accidentally moving the camera where it's currently set up. If we do happen to want to move the camera using the controls here, we can do that, but first I want to save the current camera position, so I'll go here, make sure this is set to @viewer frame, and click on Insert Camera. This will insert a new camera exactly through the spot I'm looking at currently, so that I can click back and go to that same view again. Now I want to rotate this camera using these controls, so I will click on Mount Camera. Now that it's highlighted, I can rotate this view, and it's actually going to rotate the actual camera as I do this. Now I can unmount the view, and I will see that I have this old camera view and the new camera view that I rotated. This, combined with the animation controls as seen here, can be a great way to make a turntable shot within Thea Render. Something that goes along with this is we might want to look around with the camera like this to point it at something else, and to do this we press M. After M is pressed, we should see this look around mode pop up over here, where we can then look around to any object. And again, if we want to do that and actually have the camera move, we can mount it, press M, look at something else, unmount it, and now when we go to that camera, it will have its new angle set. This is a great way to aim the camera very specifically at any object. We can toggle between different camera views by clicking Next Camera View. Over here we can switch between front, back, left, right, top and bottom view. Over here, as mentioned before, we set it to @viewer frame. We also have @global frame, which will make whatever object we make at the global center. So if I make another camera like that, it was inserted right at the global center. There's another option here called @cursor frame. To be able to see @cursor frame better, I'm going to switch this to wireframe. Now we can see this little red mark right here. This is the cursor frame. If we press 0, we can get 4 different views like this. So the cursor frame can be easily moved using these views to whatever position we might want. And just that quick, I've moved it to right above the sphere. So now I can use that cursor to place an object exactly where it is. I can go here, say Insert OmniLight, and it will be inserted exactly where that cursor frame was. Let's delete the OmniLight, switch back to solid mode, I'm going to switch this back to @viewer frame. Another option we have next to that is draw frame. This controls the little axis in the corner. There's the draw compass, which controls the little world in this other corner. And the draw grid, which controls whether the grid is on or off. Over here, under the tools, there's select, which is very good for selecting and picking any object. There's also rotate, which can be used to rotate the view by left-clicking. There's pan, roll, which is kind of cool, we can rock it back and forth. Dolly, to smoothly zoom in and out. And region, if we want to pick a region for a render. If we click this to render now, if we go to the dark room, it's going to start rendering that region. If we get stuck in any tool, I'd recommend going up here and going to the select tool so we can have the default select controls back. To switch the camera to have a depth of field, I can click on it, go either to the selection properties or the current view properties, and change it here to something else. The lower the F number, the more the depth of field. So I'm going to switch it to 1 so it has a very dramatic depth of field. Right now it looks like it's focused somewhere over here, but to focus it we can go over here, click focus, or we can press the F key. Now just click on whatever object we want to focus on, and that will come in focus. Or we could click somewhere else and have that in focus. There's also brush and eraser tool, which will be covered in the instancing section. And there's this cool pin tools, which gives us quick access to some of the most used tools like move. There's pan, the brush tool, the focus tool. So that's basically it with the other tools that were not covered up here in the quick start video. The last option that's here is the switch to parallel view. I briefly covered it before, but something that's really cool about it is it actually shows the HDRI in a kind of half circle, which is great to preview how it's kind of lighting up the current scene. To switch back to whatever view, click on it again, and then click back on the camera. That pretty much covers all the tools that were not covered in the quick start video. Again, if you haven't seen the quick start video, I highly recommend watching that, as it explains some of these options more in depth and covers many of the things not covered here in the toolbar. I hope you have fun with that, and I'll see you in the next section. Happy rendering.